Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Come join us on Insight Timer. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Wow, the fog and the rain just came in so much, the mountains have disappeared. Good evening to you, Deborah. All right, my loves, let's do a little sound test while we're waiting. I'm going to play a little music today. So, one, we just want to make sure that you can hear me well, that this is the mic that's working. I have it in a different position today as well, so let's just make sure that the sound is good and that if I move my head, you can still hear me. So check, check, test, test, test. Can you hear me? And just how's the level with the music? Can you hear me well? Can you hear the music? Hopefully just kind of more of a soft background experience rather than anything too noticeable. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Great. Excuse me. Just getting over a head cold, so apologies for anyone that was ready to go last Friday, or Friday, my time. The body was purifying and I wasn't able to lead our practice. All right, I think we'll get started. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Selena Lael. This is a Vinyasa yoga asana session. Yoga is so much more than just the physical postures. Those postures are known as asanas, and that is what we'll be focusing on today. But yoga, I like to think about, is like a roadmap for self-realization, a roadmap for awakening, a roadmap for living the most enriched, aligned, beautiful life. And again, it is so much more than just these physical postures. So I always list these sessions. Hi, Carlos. I always list these sessions as intermediate because I don't break down each pose the way that I would in a session for people who are newer to asana. However, everyone is welcome to be here, of course. My strong invitation always, no matter how experienced you feel you are, is to honor your body. If I'm ever doing something that doesn't feel good for you today, whether that's because you're unfamiliar with it or just because your body doesn't want to do it, don't do it. Take a resting pose. Maybe there's an alternative pose that serves you better. If you're newer to asana, maybe it's best to watch things if you're unfamiliar with them so that you can feel more confident when you do move into them and take care of your beautiful body. This is a 60-minute session that I always start after this little intro. If you need to leave early, please do take some time for Shavasana, that final resting posture that is really important for integrating our experience. When we move our body intentionally with asana, not only And of course, this doesn't only happen in yoga asana. It also happens when we move our body in many ways. But not only are we, of course, strengthening and detoxifying the physical body, but we are also moving energy. We are helping emotional energy to move. It's just such a very powerful practice, yes. And sometimes stuff gets really stirred up during our asana. Sometimes a lot of emotion or maybe physical detoxing occurs. And it's great to have, and very important and valuable to have that integration posture. So I invite you to take that, please. And I think that's about it for our asana practice. On a side note, I have many recordings here on the app. I have 2 courses, Yogic Practices for a Peaceful Life and Awaken My Heart, A Guide to Living with Self-Love. And if you'd like to find out more about everything that I offer, there's a website on my profile page, and I also have all of my offerings listed there that are here on the app. The courses, many, many audio recordings, the live schedule, all of it is on my profile. Okay, hi everyone. Great to see you. I can see your bobbing pictures. Okay, I think that's it. Have any props that you like to use for your practice? I generally don't demonstrate with props because not everyone has access to them. So please do have props if you'd like to use them. And excuse me, we will begin our 60 minutes. Ow. So let's come to a seated posture. Any seated posture that's comfortable for your body. Sit tall, roll one shoulder up, back and down, the other shoulder up, back and down. Relax the shoulders down. Close the eyes, chin is slightly tucked. Take a deep, full breath in as the belly and rib cage expands. Exhale, feel the rib cage and then the belly softening in toward the midline. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. This breathing is so important in our asana practice. Inhale, breathe deeply. Exhale completely. Let's breathe in and out of the nose if possible. Allow a space between the teeth and the lips. The jaw is soft, the throat is relaxed. If Ujjayi Pranayama is part of your practice, you can engage this ocean-sounding breath in the throat. Start to guide your mind to this moment. Feel your physical body rooted on the earth. Notice your structure, feel your bones. Sense your muscles and imagine that they're softening around the bones. The shoulders relax down. The tailbone drops back and down. Bring your palms to touch at your heart in Anjali Mudra. Set your sankalpa for practice, your intention. Beautiful. If there are any technical difficulties during our session, please just throw a bunch of emojis in the chat, as I won't be able to read your comments from here. Let's begin with the centering technique, this ancient yogic technique to bring all of our being into alignment. The hands touch at the heart. You're welcome to do this standing up if that's easier. Inhale, reach the right arm all the way up, straighten the elbow if you can. The left hand comes down by the navel. Exhale, slowly, slowly, all the way back to the heart. Soften the jaw. Inhale, left hand all the way up, right hand by navel. Open the chest. Exhale to the heart. Really take your time, especially on that exhale. One more time on the right side. Inhale, right arm all the way up, left hand by navel. Straighten the arm if you can. Exhale slowly back to the heart. Hold your heart, hold your belly. Maybe say Happy Valentine's Day to your own beloved self. You are your number one Valentine. I know it sounds cliche, but it's really true. The greatest romance you will ever experience is with your own beloved self. Let's make our way onto all fours. Wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Lift the fingers, spread them wide. Root back down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Inhale, crown and tailbone lift up. Exhale, spine to sky, chin to chest. Tilt the tailbone under. Inhale, reach the chest through the shoulders. Lift the tailbone, lift the crown of the head. Exhale, press the spine to the sky. Continue. Let the lips be soft, the face soft. On your next inhalation, come to a neutral spine. Walk the hands far forward. Keep the hips high. Melt the chest down. Maybe relax the forehead on the mat, coming into puppy pose. Draw the navel toward the spine. And if it feels good, you can keep the elbows lifted here. Where can you release unnecessary gripping and clenching in the body? On your next inhalation, press into your palms. Walk your hands in. Rock your hips a little side to side. Walk your hands further forward so they're in front of your shoulders now rather than being directly below them. Fingers are spread. Draw the navel toward the spine. Tuck the toes under. Press yourself up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Bend one knee at a time. Reach the opposite heel back. Move side to side. Feel the shoulders pulling up away from the ears. Keep the navel engaging toward the spine so we support the low back. Reach both heels down toward the mat. If your back body is feeling really tight anywhere, or your chest is feeling really tight, I invite you to bend your knees. Press your heels back with bent knees. Press your chest back toward your thighs. We'll all press the chest back toward the thighs here. If you have a lot of openness in the body, then you can reach the heels down for the mat. Roll up onto the balls of the feet now. Roll through the spine to come forward into high plank. And then exhale to press yourself up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll up onto the balls of the feet, roll through the spine, high plank. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Continue like this. Beautiful. One more. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend the knees and take small steps all the way up to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Big toes are parallel or pointing forward. Bend the knees, allow your upper body to hang really heavy. Maybe the belly is on the thigh. Gently shake your head no and yes. Keep the knees bent. Keep the upper body really relaxed. Bring the weight into the heels. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Top of the head is the very last part of the body to come up. So the upper body stays really limp. And we come all the way up to standing. Shoulders drop back and down. Beautiful. Feel this movement inside. Maybe you can feel that movement of energy, breath, presence. Palms touch at the heart. Actually, let's take the feet a little wider here. So the feet are wide toward the edges of the mat, and the toes are now turned out slightly so that the knees are moving over the toes. Roll the shoulders up and back. Interlace the hands behind the back if possible, and maybe begin to straighten the arms here. If you have a lot of space and mobility, maybe the palms start to touch. Draw your navel toward your spine. So rather than going like this, draw the navel in, drop the tailbone down. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, open the chest. We don't have to push this far. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Bend your knees and maybe allow the knuckles to start to lift up away from the spine. Pull the shoulder blades toward one another. Draw your navel toward your spine. Breathe. Keep pulling the shoulders up and away from the ears. Maybe lift the hands a little higher. Lovely. Press into the feet, drop the tailbone down, rise all the way up with a flat back if possible. Release the hands. Just allow the hands to float by the sides of the body for a moment. Bring the feet back toward the midline. So feet are either underneath the hips or maybe the big toes are touching, whichever feels best for your body. Draw the navel toward the spine, stand tall, palms touch at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen. Exhale, swan dive. Draw the navel toward the spine, hinge forward, option to bend the knees. Inhale, fingertips to shins, weight in the toes, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or lightly hop back, high plank. Draw the navel toward the spine. Option 1 is to lower down to the knees and maybe come up through cobra. Option 2 is to lower down through chaturanga and come up upward facing dog, where the thighs are completely off of the mat, tops of the feet are down. We'll all make our way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Slow, deep breaths here. So as always, my invitation is to honor your body and honor your practice. The way I lead asana may not be the way you usually practice. So listen to what you would like for your body. The physical practice for me, background-wise, study-wise, is alignment-based vinyasa. So a lot of the cues I offer are from this perspective that they will help us feel better in our bodies and be less prone to injury, but there's no one way for anything. One more breath here. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Press into the feet, option to bend the knees to rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. I'm just going to adjust this mic because it's doing some funny things. Please. Aha, that's what happened. Just adjusting this. Okay, that should be better. All right, hopefully that will stay in place a little better. You should still be able to hear me. Of course, you can throw some emojis in the chat if you can't. Palms touch at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, option to bend the knees as you dive forward, draw the navel toward the spine. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, fingertips to shins, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Lower down to the knees or through chaturanga. Come up, cobra or upward facing dog. Make your way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Draw the navel toward the spine, press the chest back toward the thighs. I invite you to keep the knees bent. If the back body is really tight, meaning the backs of the legs, the back, or if the chest is tight as well. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach, lengthen. Exhale, option to bend the knees, swan dive. Inhale, fingertips to shins, weight in the toes, shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Lower down to the knees or through chaturanga. Come up, cobra or upward facing dog. Make your way back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Bring the big toes to touch. Draw the navel toward the spine. Extend the, plant right leg up and back. Press the chest back toward left thigh. Press out through the ball of the right foot. Lift the leg a little higher, but keep the hips square. Bend the right knee, stack the hips, toes fall behind. Maybe lift that knee a little higher. Inhale, square the hips, straighten the right leg. Option to stay here or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, lengthen up and back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross the body, left elbow. One more round if you wish. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Waking things up in the body. Inhale, exhale, right elbow. Inhale, exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softly step the right foot through between the hands. Keep the back heel lifted. Option to lower the back knee. Draw the navel in. Inhale, rise up. Bend in the front knee, crescent lunge. Bend the back knee. Drop the tailbone down. Then from here, begin to press back through that heel. Draw the lower ribs in. Draw the navel in. Release the hands behind the back. Interlace fingers. Maybe begin to straighten the arms here. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. Shoulder blades draw back as if they were trying to touch. Straighten the legs, rise up. Exhale to bend into that front knee and sink it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink it down. Stay here. Press out through the back heel. Maybe lift the knuckles away from the spine a little if that feels good. Release the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, touch down. Step the right leg back, high plank, lower through your vinyasa, or just come to downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the left leg up and back. Press out through the ball of the foot. Draw the navel toward the spine. Hips are square still. Lift the leg a little higher. Keep rooting down through the base of the index fingers and thumbs. Bend the knee, stack the hips, toes fall behind. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here, or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. One more round, only if it feels good. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, softly step left foot through between the hands. Keep the back heel lifted. Option to lower the back knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Bend the back knee, tilt the tailbone, draw the navel in. Then begin to extend through the right leg. Sink it down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side. Open the chest, palms face forward. Inhale, straighten the legs, rise up, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink it down, open the chest, open the arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open. Keep drawing the navel in so we're not popping those lower ribs out too much. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Stay here. Press out through the back heel. Maybe baby back bend if that feels good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, touch down. Step the left leg back. Move through your vinyasa or just come to downward facing dog. 3 slow, deep breaths in downward facing dog. Draw the navel in. Inner elbows roll forward. Shoulders pull up away from ears. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat. Fold forward. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Option to bend the knees. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, option to bend the knees as you swan dive. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Draw the shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step, or lightly hop back, high plank. Lower down to the knees or through chaturanga. Come up, cobra, or upward facing dog. Make your way back, downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hips, toes fall behind. Inhale, lengthen, square the hips. Option to stay here or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, softly step the right foot through between the hands. Keep the back heel lifted. Option to lower the knee. Inhale, rise up. Crescent lunge. Bend the back knee, tilt the tailbone down. Then begin to straighten the leg. Inhale, sink it a little lower. Exhale, soften the body even though there's a lot of activity here. Beautiful. Drop the back heel down. Pivot so that the hips are now square to the left side of the mat. Virabhadrasana 2. Maybe the right knee is above the right ankle. Stick your tailbone out behind you and then tilt it under to lengthen the lumbar spine. Crown of the head is over the pelvis. Arms are out. Gaze is over right middle finger. Maybe the right knee gently presses out to the right so that you might see your big toe. This is not for everybody. Yes, we all have different bodies. Just cues to play with. Right palm turns up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Backhand lightly touches back thigh or calf or shin. Inhale, extended side angle. Elbow to thigh, reach the arm alongside the ear. Inhale to reverse, stay low. Exhale to extend, reach the arm along the ear. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Stay here. Sink it down in the hips a little more. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Heel toe that back foot in a little bit here. We're just diving right in today in a lot of opening postures. So please, as always, go at your pace. If your body is still needing more time to do some of these poses, don't do them, yes? This is your time for you. It's not about me or any of us here in community. If you have a block, this is a nice time to have your block available. You can have a block to the outside of the right foot and then further forward so you can balance. If you don't have a block, no issue. You can keep the right knee as bent as you need it to be to bring your hand down in that same approximate place, outside of the right foot and further forward. Let's all bring the left hand to the hip. Bring your weight into your right foot. Lift your left leg. Hug your navel in, and then flex your left foot. So really activate your whole left leg. Pull your toes up toward your knee. Then from here, if possible, stack the hips. So the left hip stacks on top of the right. If you're here comfortably, the gaze is maybe right on the floor, or maybe it's out to the side if you're playing with your balance. Maybe you'd like to lift your left arm up to the sky and even turn your gaze up to your left thumb. Breathe. Lengthen. Rather than collapsing your torso down, can you lengthen? Lift the leg a little higher. Ardha Chandrasana. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more, you got this. Inhale. Exhale, left hand touches down, so both hands to the ground or the block. Drop your left hip down so it squares with your right leg, your right hip. Lift the left leg, but keep the hips square. Imagine you're one of those performers who can balance a tray on your sacrum. Lift the left leg and maybe walk your hands in toward your right foot. Maybe the forehead comes toward the right shin or touches it even. Lift the leg a little higher. Bend your right knee. Reach your left leg all the way back. Reach your left foot all the way back. Rise up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, touch down. Step your right leg back. Lower through your vinyasa. Work around your block if it's in the way. We'll make our way back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Big toes touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Inhale, square the hips, straighten the leg. Stay here or exhale, knee to nose, high plank. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, softly step the left foot through between the hands. Rise up, option to bring that back knee down, crescent lunge. Release the back knee, draw the navel in, then straighten the leg. Shoulders drop down away from ears. Beautiful, everyone. Open it out, release the back heel down, hips square to the right side of the mat, preparing for Virabhadrasana 2. Stick your tailbone out behind you and then tilt it under. Crown of the head is over the pelvis. Maybe that left knee opens a little to the left, gazes over left middle finger. Relax the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Left palm turns up. Inhale, reverse. Back hand lightly touches back thigh. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach the arm over the ear. Stay low. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, elbow to thigh, forearm to thigh, reach. One more. Inhale, reverse, stay low. Exhale, extend. Stay here for an extra breath. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Bring that back foot in a little. And we'll prepare for Ardha Chandrasana on the second side. Again, if you have your block, you'll use your block. If you're just using your hand, use your hand. So the placement is to the outside of the foot and further forward so that when you come up, you're creating this weight transfer. Rather than being here where you're not balanced or straining or staying here, the idea is the placement of our hand creates this nice solid foundation and structure in the body. Right hand is to the hip. Bend the left knee as much as you need to bring your hand down to the block or the mat. Lift the right leg. And before we do any stacking, flex the right foot. Toes pull up, leg is active. Then stack the hips, right on left. Lift that leg a little higher. Maybe the right arm reaches up. The drishti is focused on the floor, to the wall, to the right of you, or maybe all the way up to the right thumb. Can you lift up out of that bottom leg rather than collapsing the weight down into it? Breathe. Micro bend in that standing leg, no hyperextension here. Keep flexing the right toes, active top leg, active bottom leg. Beautiful. Right hand touches down, both hands to the mat, to the block. Drop your right hip down, square the hips, draw the navel toward the spine. Lift that right leg, standing splits. Walk your hands in, maybe the forehead comes toward the shin. Lift the leg a little higher, keep the hips square. Beautiful. Bend the right knee, reach that right foot all the way back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, touchdown. Step the left leg back, lower through your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 slow, deep breaths. Draw the navel in, press the chest back. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Exhale, bend the knees to step or lightly hop to the top of the mat, fold forward. Press into the feet. Inhale, rise all the way up, draw the navel toward the spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. So we're going to play with Ardha Chandrasana one more time and just move into it from a standing position. So I again invite you to have your block if you have a block, or you can just work with your hand. We'll have 2 options this time. The first is a repeat of what we just did, just playing with balance with that top leg extended. If you're feeling like playing with something a little different, we'll take the foot bind here and I'll walk us through it. So we'll start with the right side. Bring your right leg forward, your left leg back a little. Draw your navel toward your spine. Bend your right knee as much as you need to bring your right hand down in that position where you're going to eventually be able to feel more balanced. Lift the left leg, flex the left foot. active left leg. Stack the hips. Beautiful. So option one is to stay here, maybe lift that left arm up, have your gaze focused on one space. If you'd like to take this a little further, you can bend or play with it at least. Bend your left leg and reach for the outside of your left foot or ankle, outside of the left foot. From here, begin to kick the foot into the hand, maybe opening the hip and the shoulder. Let's all lift the corners of the mouth. Breathe. Keep kicking the foot into the hand. It's okay to fall. Feel free to come back into it. We'll be here for one more breath. If you have the foot, slowly release it. We'll all bring the left hand down, bend the right knee, reach your left foot all the way down, draw your navel toward the spine, press into the feet, rise up, step your left foot forward, give a little shake. Second side. Might want to bend your knees also. Sometimes I like this one. This time we step the right leg back, left leg is forward, draw the navel toward the spine, place your block or your hand in that position to support you with your balance. And of course, some of us won't be able to do this, and that's okay. Yeah, just be with your body. I was working with someone recently who was having really a difficult time, like coming just from a plank position down onto their belly. And they kind of seemed like they were really defeated, like, oh, I just can't do this. This isn't my thing. And I just reminded them that we all start someplace. Yes, some of us are naturally more inclined for certain types of physical activities, but none of us came out of the womb walking, right? I know that there was a point in my life, even not too long ago when I wasn't doing my practice for a while, where chaturanga or a push-up felt really difficult. So wherever you are, I invite you to consider anything in your life, whether it's asana or something you want to do with your life or something in your relationship, whatever it is, remind yourself lovingly that we all start someplace. Everything that we cultivate in our lives, any sense of mastery or achievement or success or execution, it starts someplace with a baby step and another and repetition. As Tony Robbins says, repetition is the mother of all skill. So let us remember that lovingly with ourselves. Anything in life, yeah, not just asana. Right hand to the hip, left hand down. Lift the right leg, flex the foot, draw the navel toward the spine. Then begin to stack once that right leg is really active. Maybe you stay here, maybe you reach the right arm up. The gaze is focused on one spot. If you'd like to play a little on this side as well, bend the knee, reach for the outside of the foot. And once you have the foot, begin to kick the foot into the hand, maybe opening the hip, the chest. Breathe. Keep lifting your weight up and out of that bottom leg if possible, rather than dumping it into the leg. One more breath here. If you have the foot, gracefully release it. We'll all bring the right hand down. That left knee is bent. Gracefully bring the right foot all the way down. Press into the feet. Draw the navel in to stand up. Right foot steps forward. Shake it out. Bend the knees. Heels to glutes. Lovely. How do we want to do this transition? Let's do one final vinyasa for today. If you're done with your vinyasas, I invite you just to come down onto your back. Otherwise, we'll start at the top of the mat, palms touch. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bow through center or dive. Inhale, half lift and lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step. Lightly hop back, lower down through your vinyasa. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then, however you wish, make your way to a seated position. So maybe you just come down onto your knees to come to a seated position. Maybe you'd like to do a kind of a hop through of some kind. And once you're to a seat, let's all make our way onto the back. So, in honor of a day that, in its essence, we can say, is about love and sharing love. I was feeling yesterday, I was like, oh, like I don't remember the last time I thought about this. I mean, decades. I was like, oh, I kind of miss like the days of being in school and how sweet it was that you just got to give out all these Valentines. What a sweet thing. Of course, it was charged because sometimes you didn't get a Valentine or the person you liked gave somebody else a Valentine if your school even practiced that silly tradition. But there's something so sweet about the gestures that we give each other of love. I could go on and on talking about these things today, but may, however you celebrate or don't celebrate Valentine's Day, may it start with the love here. That's my wish for each of us. Okay, so within all of that, we are practicing asanas today that are also focused on creating this sense of opening or maybe greater receptivity, opening the physical body and the areas that hold the heart, rather than living our lives with our shoulders forward, always protecting ourselves. We're practicing how to open the body to be in a more receptive physical posture. Always your choice, though. Knees are bent. We'll start with bridge pose. Setubandha Sarvangasana. Feet are hip distance apart. Toes are slightly turned in. See if you can just brush your heels with your middle fingers. We have different bodies, so this may not be possible for everyone, no issue. But we're just looking for this kind of alignment with the feet and the arms. Press your low back down. Always keep the gaze up to the sky in this posture. We never turn the head here. We want to protect our beautiful necks. Low back presses down. Tilt the tailbone up to the sky. Keep the knees in close rather than splaying wide. Feet are flat. Curl up through the spine. So peel the lower back, middle back, upper back off of the mat. An option to stay here or interlace the hands. Tuck the shoulders underneath of you. Underneath of you, underneath you. Lift the hips, lift the chest, press up, press into the feet. Toes are slightly turned in, and then relax the glutes and be here. Again, keep the knees from splaying if possible. Lift yourself a little higher, relax the glutes. We'll take 2 to 4 more breaths here, your choice. When you're ready to come down, reverse the way you came up. So slowly go down the opposite way. Slowly come down. If you're still up, untuck the shoulders, release the arms. Allow the knees to fall in toward each other, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And just lovingly hold your body for a moment. Be with yourself for a moment. Even close the eyes for a moment. Lovely. So we will either move into bridge pose again, what we just did, or we're going to start to move into a couple of rounds of wheel pose, back bending. We're still warming up the pecs and the area in the front of the chest for this pose. So if your body isn't totally ready, then maybe this isn't the time to do it. But if you'd like to warm up through the posture and you feel comfortable and confident playing with wheel pose, then we'll do that together. So let's all get the foot position because it'll be the same for both postures. Maybe you can brush the heels, hips or feet are about hip distance apart, toes are slightly turned in. If you're choosing bridge pose, you press into the feet, you tilt the tailbone up, you curl up, and maybe reach the hands underneath you. If you're going to join me in wheel pose, the feet are in the same position, and you're welcome to move up into bridge for 3 to 5 breaths if you're choosing that posture. If we're choosing wheel, let's reach the arms up alongside the ears, the palms face up toward the sky. Bend your elbows and plant your palms as much as you can with the fingers pointing down toward the shoulders. Press into your feet, lift your hips, come up onto the top of your head, and then turn your fingers more toward your shoulders. Keep the elbows more in alignment with the wrists rather than splaying wide if possible. Then from here, press into the palms to lift yourself up and breathe. We'll take 3 to 5 breaths here. When you come down, come back down onto the top of the head slowly and all the way down to the back. Once you're on your back again, allow the knees to fall toward each other, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Now, if you're like me and you haven't practiced this pose in some time, you may really be feeling this in certain parts of the body, the wrists, the back. If there's any sense of strain, I invite you not to do this again. Maybe you just like to rest. Maybe you'd like to take bridge pose. But if there's a sense of strain, no need. Okay, third and final round. First option is bridge pose again. Second option is coming up into wheel again. Third option is just hanging out here and resting. Or anything else you'd like to do. Bring the feet in alignment with the hips. See if you can brush the heels with the middle fingers. Toes are slightly turned in. If you're taking bridge pose, press the back down, tilt the tailbone up, curl up off the spine. If you're choosing wheel pose, the arms reach up, bend the elbows, plant the palms, fingers point down toward the shoulders. Press yourself up onto the top of the head, realign yourself, and then press yourself up. When you're ready to come down, slowly come down. We'll all meet on the back. Knees fall in toward each other. We ideally do not lift the knees into the chest yet. One hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, or maybe the arms open wide with the palms up to the sky. Soften the face, the throat, and notice what's happening inside. Recall your sankalpa. Beautiful. Walk the feet in so the feet are closer, maybe even touching. Cross your left knee over your right. Take your arms out to the sides or tee the arms if you don't have enough space. I think I'll move over a little bit here. Lift your feet and allow your knees to fall over to the left. If possible, keep your right shoulder rooted. Breathe. And if this is too intense, this twist is too much, you can uncross the legs and just have the knees stacked. Turn the chin toward the right shoulder. Breathe deeply. So just a little anatomical awareness here. Again, there's no right way. However, the training that I come from shows us how sometimes bringing the knees to the chest right after doing back bends can be um, problematic because we've just taken such a deep stretch in one direction. To do it in the opposite direction right away can be a little too much. So rather than doing one direction and then the other, twists are a wonderful way to still create some relief, but rather than doing the exact opposite, we're twisting. So we're moving the spine, but in a horizontal direction. Slowly make your way back up to center. Uncross the feet, plant the feet down or uncross the knees. Press into your feet to lift your hips up and over to the left a little. And we'll change sides. This time we cross, that feels like the same leg. Cross the right leg over the left leg. And then you can play with your hip position here. Maybe you'd like to actually press into your left foot to lift your hips up and over to the left a little more. You can see what feels good. And then allow the knees to fall over to the right. Turn your chin toward your left shoulder. Maybe even see if you can keep that left shoulder rooted here. Slow, deep breaths. Guide your mind to this moment. What is happening in my body, in my mind, in my emotions? How can I meet myself with greater love and compassion? As a reminder, we always complete practice 60 minutes after the intro. So today we'll end about 6 or 7 after the hour. If you're in a place where there's a half or a full hour difference in the time. If you need to end early, please take time for Shavasana. Slowly come back up to center, uncross the legs, press into your feet to bring your hips back into center or that alignment with the rest of the body. Just move your hips a little side to side, move the knees a little side to side here. Let's take happy baby, bend the knees, lift the feet, allow the knees to fall out really wide, maybe even wider than the shoulders. And then reach your hands up to the outsides of the shins, or maybe all the way up to the outer edges of the feet, whichever works best for your body. Maybe the ankles come over the knees, maybe the soles of the feet turn up toward the sky. Wherever you are, breathe. Relax the upper body as much as you can. You can rock from side to side here if that feels good. Inviting the feet to pull down toward the earth, opening the hips a little more. You can also, of course, play with extending the legs and bending them, whatever feels good. Find stillness if you're rocking. Slowly release. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe wrap the elbows around the knees. Whew, my hip flexors are so tight. Breathe. Soften the body as much as you can. Slowly release. Extend the legs down the mat. Take the feet wide, toes fall out to the sides, arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. You can tuck your shoulders under you a little if that feels good. Create some space between the arms and the torso, if possible. And then just start to wiggle your body. Feel like you're creating kind of like a wiggling wave from your head all the way to your feet, if this feels good. We're not shaking too intensely here, just little wiggles to kind of shake out any unconscious tension. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then release. Find stillness. Close the eyes. Allow a space between the teeth. And I invite you to be in stillness for this final posture. If there's an urge to adjust or itch or check your phone, I invite you to just watch that urge. Be the witness of that urge. We are not these bodies, minds, or emotions, but we are definitely experiencing them. So practice being the one who is aware. Any sensation, thought, or emotion, we notice and then we let it go again and again. Release holding on to any thoughts and following them. Notice a thought and then let it pass like a cloud. Notice another thought and practice letting it pass. Stay in this posture for as long as you like. If you're ready to complete, deepen the breath. Feel this amazing body, this sacred, precious body that you have the gift of inhabiting. This intelligent body. And slowly start to move fingers and toes. Inhale, reach your arms up along the ears. Exhale through the mouth, stretch, point your toes. Bend your knees, roll over onto one side. When you're ready, use your hands to come up to a seat with the eyes closed. Recall your sankalpa, feel that in your awareness, your heart. And we'll complete practice with our closing chant, offering the benefit of our practice to all beings. Palms touch at the heart. Roll one shoulder up, back and down, the other shoulder up, back and down. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu 3 times. And then Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings and all of creation be happy, be free, peace, peace, peace. Let's take a breath in. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. To be in this world and not of this world. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. This life is to be enjoyed by you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sherry. Beautiful. Thanks, Misty. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Sean. So grateful to be together. What is one gift from your heart that you would like to share today? What is one gift from your heart? And there's no right answer here. It doesn't look anyway. What is one gift from your heart that you'd like to share today? And if you'd like, share it in the chat. What is one gift from your heart? Thank you, Wendy. One gift from my heart that I'd like to share today is everything that I speak about in the self-love course. I know many of you are taking the self-love course with me, or you've already taken it. And it is that you are your own beloved. We hear about it all the time, right? You are the love that you seek. You have to love yourself before you can love another. We hear all of these things. But really, really, when I say this, it's not a nice quote, meaning it's so much more than that. But your romance with you is the greatest romance you will ever experience. Your journey with yourself is the greatest romance you will ever experience. The fullness, the richness, the juiciness, the fulfillment of heart, of beingness, of soul, you will experience with yourself more than you will ever experience with another person. And it doesn't mean we know how to do that, right? So that's why there are so many wonderful tools and roadmaps, the self-love courses, different meditations, things to teach us what that might even look like or what that means to love ourselves. But it really is the nectar of life to find out how to love ourselves, to be in love with ourselves, the nectar, the sweetest nectar of this life. So just food for thought. Cornelia's gift from the heart is honesty. Thank you, George. Wendy's gift is the support of friends when you really need them, plus the birds. Beautiful. And thank you, friends. Thank you for your donations. I'm so grateful for your monetary support to support me in my life and my well-being. And of course, it supports Insight Timer as well. So thank you. All right. Any last shares? Anyone else want to share what your gift from your heart is today? Or anything else before we sign off? We'll be together again on, not Wednesday this week, but we'll be together again on Friday for another Asana session. And then next week, I changed our Wednesday session from the satsang that we usually have. It will still be a satsang, but we're going to intentionally have a meditation for all of those affected by what's happening due to the earthquake, Turkey, Syria, and ultimately send that same light that we cultivate in the meditation to the whole planet, because there are so many places that need it. Always, always. Okay, thank you. Love you. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I look forward to being together soon. And remember, if you're in a place where it's not feeling difficult or where it's not feeling easy to enjoy, or you're in maybe one of those periods of contraction or feelings of darkness, it's okay. It's okay. It's just part of the cycle. And I have many recordings to support you, so feel free to explore the different things I have on the app if you're needing that support in the darkness. The track Everything Will Be Okay can feel really supportive. Also, the self-soothing practice can be really helpful, among other things. Okay. I love you. See you soon. Thank you, Sil. Love you.